little guest with me today in the form of my, oops, we're in the wrong lane, my little girl, Rocket Jadebrook.
Can you say hi,
Rocky? Hi, Rocky! Rox is with me today because she's not well enough to go to school, but she's not unwell enough to sit around with me at home, and I just couldn't cancel my meetings today. I am absolutely up to my eyeballs with work, and actually Rocky's never been to my office, so she's going to come and meet the team. Today I'm in the studio with Lizzie talking through all of the boards for our Newlyweds project. When I talk about boards, what I mean is a sample board. This right here is an example of a sample board. Each of these boards essentially represents a room or a space within a project. And on the board we have hard finishes, FF&E items, and then core supply items. So that's your sometimes sanitary ware, hardware, just enough to give the client a picture of what that room is going to look like. The colours, the feel, the textures, all on one board. And this is essentially the whole house presented in sample form. Now, the reason that usually the boards are laid out like this on a table, every project we've got is sort of tends to be dotted around the office at all times, is because as we move through the project, naturally it will evolve and develop, and things will go out of stock and things will change because of budget constraints and, you know, changes occurring on site. So we like to keep the boards here on show. We actually took these to site a couple of days ago to meet Jamie and Sophie, and they've essentially approved everything that you can see here today, which is great.
All the time.
This is good.
I just honestly, guys, this is so exciting.
This will be the best addition.
Holy moly, guys!
Also,
That's
just getting this-
Kidding me? Look at that! It's absolutely sweet as a peanut. So where are these going to go? These are going to go.
This is your master bedroom. This is when you walk through from your master to your ensuite. You've got his and hers little dressing areas. Yeah.
You know that?
Wow, I didn't know that, but now I do, and I'm excited. No, I don't know.
I know.
It's gonna,
I don't
we
know.
were actually wondering whether we keep you out the house.
Disgusting.
And then we just let him in at the last minute.
I think we should when we're starting
When
to
you get
like
closer.
really
And then can we do a big uncut? I want to see tears.
I know we did. Don't worry, I'm now a crier. There we go.
Okay, how would you guys describe your taste?
I was just trying
Unbelievable.
to say this to my friend because my friend was like, "Oh, it's like a cocktails house," and I was like, "No, it's not."
Oh God, Jojo, what would you say our style is? I actually never know. I was just saying.
I would say European.
My friend said to me.
It's sort of LA meets sort of Ibiza, but you have a
But also a bit of
traditional, you love a bit of
Cotswolds.
antique, yeah. It's
My
like
friend
English,
was like that.
it's English with a
Clonus.
Yeah,
A bit of clone.
and there's a little bit of Spanish, I would say, a little bit of Spanish.
We always ask for Pinterest boards really early on in a project because it really helps us to see what a client's vision is for the house, and that can vary hugely. Even though people have obviously come to House 9, they vary a lot, don't they?
Yeah, it's very much our springboard.
But I'd say their style. So they were Sophie's boards originally, so I think they've somewhat evolved, but her original taste and style, I would say, was quite pared back, very calm, mostly quite neutral. The sort of the element, it's basically neutral with some masculine elements like
Lots of
bronze
texture and woods. And
but quite tonal. But then as actually the project has sort of gone on, we've discovered that actually they really like colour, and they actually wanted to introduce some fun in certain areas. can see when you lay out all the fabrics and the materials, if something doesn't work, it will sort of almost stick out like a sore thumb. So although these are like in different rooms behind different doors, if a red doesn't necessarily hold hands colour-wise with anything else, we'll change that tone in that red to make sure that the journey through the house still holds hands, even if it's all different colours and every single material in the house is different, there is still an absolute handhold throughout all of the rooms. As you will remember, the kitchen area is south-facing, flooded with natural light, originally wanted. And so you kind of have to work with the foundation of what is going to go on the floor first before you can then build up with what the kitchen's going to look like, what materials we're going to use, the colours on the walls and everything. So what did we choose, Lizzie?
So we chose a very timeless classic, tumbled etched limestone, which is going to be in a really large format, which is super practical but also beautiful for the kitchen. It will withstand all the sunlight that room gets and age beautifully with time.
The other thing is this will, it's really slip resistant, and it will also go sort of inside outside really nicely.
Yeah.
This one is by Artisans of Devices, who are great. We use them all the time. Brilliant.
So working from the ground up, from the limestone floor, Sophie's original Pinterest had lots of lime wash paint on the walls, so we thought this would be a really lovely place to bring it in.
The colour we thought we were going to go with originally, the floors had been laid, and we went into site the other day, and then we actually had to pull the corner of the floor up to see the flooring down to realise that actually the colour we chose wasn't quite right. So again, it's all about sampling, and then of course that then affects everything else that goes in the room. So as soon as we got this right, then we could find the matching paint colour to work with it, and then we can kind of find all the fabrics to work in succession. You'll remember from the house tour, as you walk through the front door on the right-hand side, you walk through now a lovely arch. We've opened up that lovely doorway to be an arch. This is going to be a colour-drenched room, and originally, and this is one of the main things, I think this is, well, hold on,
I think it was the first colour we nailed down, wasn't it?
It was the first colour we nailed down. This is Rocky by Coat, which is one of our paint colours, and it's super dark. It's got a lovely green depth to it, and it's going to be literally chucked on walls, floors. No, not floors. Walls. Colour drenched.
The walls and
walls,
the
joinery, ceilings, covings, skirtings everywhere. We're introducing here marble, because there is something about marble against that contrast of like really dark paint and then heavily veined marble, and we're going to bring this in on the
fire surround. And then layering that up with a beautiful terracotta tile, because Sophie and Jamie are big fans of terracotta, so we thought we'd get some terracotta tones in there.
Without and you'll see this a lot in House Nine's projects, without bringing in these sort of terracottas and natural textures, it can actually feel a bit blingy. It's a bit sort of new build. And then as soon as you throw these sorts of textures in, it suddenly becomes really earthy and a bit more natural.
Timeless.
Timeless, yeah.
We thought we'd really have some fun in here. We always do. We can kind of push the boundaries in here a little bit, because you're not spending a lot of time in there. You're in and you're out. And this is where Sophie, the client, really wanted a fun animal-themed wallpaper. So this is where we sourced this beautiful, it's actually a fabric that we've had backed as a wallpaper. And it's got beautiful kind of earthy tones and then pops of colour. So we are complementing the...
Is that a word? We're complimenting.
Complementing the wallpaper with Jojo's green on the walls, and then on the wall panelling, and then Yes Chef on the ceiling. So it's a really like immersive space when you're in there.
There is something about wallpaper that is essentially like, it's art. This is artwork. Wallpaper is artwork, and therefore it's super subjective. And we might not have necessarily chosen this, but we like to just throw down loads of wallpaper samples.
We laid them all out, and Sophie was drawn immediately to this one.
She loved this one. And actually, this was originally on paper, and we didn't like the look of the paper. It felt a bit flat. So Lizzie...
We've house-nined it.
House-nined it. And she got the company to put it on this lovely linen backing, which makes it feel a bit more textured and a bit more, I don't know, a bit more sumptuous. And that's what she went with. We basically designed the cinema room around this particular wallpaper, and then it's out of stock. We couldn't get it in time for the contractors.
It's never coming back into stock, so we had to kind of pivot and keep the colours that we loved, but bring in interest elsewhere, which has been a bit of a last-minute change. But we make it work, and we like a challenge.
We love a challenge. Sometimes. But it's super sumptuous and really all enveloping. This colour is just, oh, it's gorgeous.
It's like a big hug when you go in there. So the walls...
A big sexy hug.
Yeah. The walls and the curtains are all going to be very tonal. So that will kind of clad the whole room. And then we're going to do the sofa in the same fabric as well. Possibly introduce some fun fringing.
And we've got a black and white striped carpet in here as well.
Yeah.
Which is mega. Every single thing you see on this board has to go through a stage of sourcing, phone calls to find out if it's in stock,
Cost alignment.
cost
budgeting.
alignment, budgeting,
Yeah.
approval from client.
Yeah.
If it's not approved, we have to go back and resource something else and go through that same thing all over again.
For every
So
little detail.
every single thing, everything. If you were to take all of the hard finishes off, everything's actually quite soft, and you've obviously got hints of colour, but it all sort of holds hands. It's only when you start to bring in the metals and the hard finishes like hardware, sanitary ware, lighting, that's when it really firms everything up a little bit and it makes it feel quite masculine. So even on windows, things like external windows and that sort of thing is what's really kind of quite grounding. Otherwise it can feel a bit wishy-washy. If everything was just the same, it would feel wishy-washy. So we love to add layers of interest with hardware.
Yeah, layers upon layers of materials.
Layers and layers and layers and layers. So, welcome to my humble abode. Welcome to my house. I'm going to start off in my bedroom because this is one of the only rooms in the house that's finished and therefore I'm quite proud of it. The rest of the house not so much. But I love this room and basically when we moved into the house we didn't have the budget to do the whole thing. We were very limited on time. And I thought, what are the most important rooms where we're going to be living that I just want to feel like a little sanctuary when I come home from a hard day at work and I can shut the door on the rest of the house. And that was this room, the living room, the kids' bedroom and the shower room. And the rest of the house I thought we can just do whenever, over the course of time, when time permits and budget allows. So here we are, master bedroom.